welcome to the first ever Boyinapod podcast. Today's guest is Lincoln All, but you probably know him better as Silantra. Welcome to the podcast, Lincoln.
Hello.
Okay, that was unnecessary.
Alright.
Are you going to introduce me too, or just be really stuck out?
Alright, my co-host here is Ike Productions, or Luke Icard, and I'm Cam Bryan, better known as Dasty.
Yay!
Yay, I didn't get any claps.
Okay.
Alright, let's just jump right into this. Lincoln, what are your goals for this year?
Well, I'm planning on trying to get an EP out this summer, which I got a couple of emails from some different labels that were asking me about it, and so it's going to be more like Reese-oriented, glitch hop stuff, like heavier stuff. So I have that. Not really much else, to be honest. I'm
Just working on that, right?
Pretty much. I'm trying to get into some film scoring too, which I have, it's actually for a school project that started off as, but I'm kind of really getting into it, so I've got that, which I'm working on a lot too. Some demos and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you say that. I've noticed like a lot more commercials and film scores have like dubstep basses or Reese's in them a lot more now than when it was first becoming popular.
Yeah, it's become a little bit more mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like inspired from when Noisia did the Devil May Cry soundtrack. And have you guys heard that at all?
No, man. I haven't. But I know Daft Punk did what's that movie, Tron?
Yeah, they did Tron too. So there's like a lot of like electronic stuff going into like film scoring and things like that more recently. So I kind of want to get into that because might actually be able to make a little bit of money from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, film scoring pays pretty well, so I've heard.
So, what do you think your musical influence is?
Well, obviously Koan Sound, like everybody compares me to them, and I mean, when I first heard them, I thought it was just like really, really weird, and I think the first song I heard by them was The Edge, actually, and it was just really, really weird stuff, I thought. But, like, as I got into it more, I realized that how well it all works together, and it just kind of inspired me to, like, start doing this more, like, funky stuff. And I guess, like, as a drummer and percussionist, I kind of, it gets me more into it because instead of just doing, like, the standard, like, 4x4,
Yeah,
that
just
kind
a
of
standard house.
Yeah, it's
Standard.
Sorry,
Fine.
Yeah, I can definitely hear that in your sound, though. You're very Cohen-y.
Cohen-y?
Gotta add a Y to the end of everything.
But yeah, so I try and focus more on like the groove of it and the percussion aspect because that's what I'm best at, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go ahead.
I was about to say, I can say just from working with you before, your percussion, very, very good. Always better than mine, so it's good working on tracks with you.
I usually use loops, so you're much better than mine, I guess.
Whenever I use loops, I feel like I'm cheating, so I never end up using them.
Yeah. I like to start off with a loop and then change it later. I don't know if you guys like to do that, just to jot down ideas for like basses and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier to use a loop if you already have a melody and an idea or like an arrangement in your head and you want to just get it down. You don't have to spend hours and hours trying to program the perfect percussion loop. You can just use a pre-made loop and then just re-edit the sounds of the loop once you've finished the arrangement. Yeah.
Yeah, I will use a loop like sometimes if I'm using like a shaker or something that like requires like a little more like human interaction, I guess.
So, more of the backtracking stuff, I suppose.
Yeah. Never like the main like focus of the percussion, but sometimes I use loops, not all the time though.
Yeah. All right, let's dive right into what DAW are you on, because people want to sound like you.
I'm on Reason 6.5.
Reason 6.5?
Yeah.
I think all three of us are on
Yeah,
that.
we're all Reason users, imagine that.
Yeah, I saw the Ableton Live 9, the release for that, and that kind of got me a little interested in it, because...
But have you seen... Wait, but have you seen the Reason 7 thing?
Yeah, I did, and I think it's really cool, but I think that Propeller Head is, like... They're constantly trying to, like, emulate old vintage gear and things like that, and I think that, like, they should... I feel like they should be taking more, like, of a modern step forward, like... really utilizing what a computer can do instead of trying to emulate the old stuff. And that's kind of like what's drawing me towards different DAWs now, is because...
Yeah, I feel you, but the only reason I won't change DAWs is because, like, I already got my workflow so down on Reason.
Yeah.
I do not want to have to relearn something.
Yeah, I'd hate to learn it again.
If I started out in Ableton, I'd probably be so just like, fuck Reason. But, you know, I started out in Reason, and, you know, I just don't feel like I need to change.
Yeah, like, I'm, in my music theory classes, my friend Matt used to be in that with me, and he'd just sit and watch me use it, because I got to the point where I got, like, so fast, it was just, like, really interesting for him to watch me do it, because, like, he has no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just going so fast with it, and I know what I'm doing, that it's, like, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to watch, I guess.
Yeah. I'm pretty...
Well, it's fun to watch anybody that's good at something.
I'm pretty psyched about the fact that they're actually going to have a real spectrum analyzer in Reason 7, though.
Yeah,
that's something that's just so lacking. It's so fundamental.
Yeah, I've been using the vocoder as a spectrum analyzer, you know, Cam, but
Yeah.
That's not really that accurate.
It's not...
It's good for general picture, but it's not really good for, like, the fine tuning.
But yeah, when we were working on a BG pants, I was trying to use that to EQ and stuff. I was just like, fuck, no, I can't even.
Yeah, it's really hard to use, but it's good to, like, what I use it for mainly is, like, to see, like, generally where things are. Like, if there's really, like, low highs, then I'll try.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really big, now I'll add in more highs, obviously, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it just gives you a general picture.
Yeah.
Right, is there any tips and techniques that people would like to share? I'm sure a lot of people would like to know how you do in these Reese basses, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's a lot of people say resampling, and like you have to do resampling and all that, but you don't really have to all the time. I mean, it does help a lot. In the Bass and Warp, I did resample like 5 or 6 times, and each time I added like 2 or 3 notch filters, so there's a lot of processing on that. I can talk about, yeah, I mean, I just found out about bandpass filters. Well, I didn't find out about them, but I found out like how to really use them well. And bandpass filters are amazing. I love bandpass filters now.
Just utilizing them to their fullest potential.
Yeah, like, I remade the bass for the Kill Everybody remix that Koan Sound did, and that bass has stumped me for months. Like, I have no idea. I made a thread about it on the forum, and it's one of like the bigger threads on the forum and nobody had figured it out. But I finally figured it out, and I'm gonna try and put up a tutorial about that pretty soon, because I'm pretty psyched about that, and that all mainly has to do with bandpass filtering. I can talk about, yeah, for getting some like real natural percussion and stuff like that. Really spend time on automating everything you can. I found out that like a lot of people do like the double kicks with like the kick drum, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The quick kicks leading up to a snare, and some people don't like edit the velocities or do anything with that. You can edit the velocity, but I found it works even better if you edit the volume too. And I know you can set your velocity to adjust the volume, but like if you just manually do the volume, for some reason it works really well, and it makes it really, really smooth. Sometimes I don't even quantize my stuff too, because sometimes it's better to have it like on the off kind of feeling to it. Like a lot of Flying Lotus stuff, you know, like all the trip hop, all that kind of stuff is all like that. And
well, it gives you that natural feel, does it not? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
If everything's so quantized, everything feels so almost robotic, and it feels like that cliche like dance music that, you know, your parents think that you're trying to make.
Yeah,
stuff with like the trance hats and the and like
Yeah, exactly.
1/8 bass every
Every
you
time,
know what I mean?
Every time my dad hears Complextra on the TV, he's like, "You can do that, right?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe."
Yeah, my dad always like, every time we hear a song, he's like, "Is this guy good? Is he good?" You know, he's always talking, trying to like ask me if everyone's good. So
No, see, the thing in my house is my dad is a drummer, and my brother's a guitar player, and I'm just this kid who sits on a computer. And they just look at me like I'm just so untalented. They just do not respect this. But, you know, that's like the rocker mentality.
Oh,
I
it's
suppose.
real. It's not a real instrument. A computer is not a real instrument.
Yeah.
that's what I used to think. Like I started doing this like 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago, and back before this, I thought that this was just electronic music was the stupidest thing ever. Like, it takes no talent to do it. You know, it's like it's all computers, no talent. But then like my friend introduced it to me, and I started doing it, and I was just like really hooked on it. And I did it like every day for a couple months, and I was like, wow, this is really, really fucking hard. And so
Yeah, most people
That's not
that I
bad.
know that get into like this music, get into electronic music, get into it because they want to make dubstep. They want to sound like Skrillex. I had like a totally different story. I got into it because I was listening to the Beastie Boys. I was like really into hip hop, and I wanted to make hip hop beats like that. And that was pretty much like my thing. And for some reason, I drifted towards dubstep, but like that was not the key thing for me.
yeah, hip hop is pretty fun to make. I mean, I can bang out a hip hop track in a couple hours usually, and it's just like
Well, it's mostly
like
loops.
good sample. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's easier to make, really.
You don't have to build as much tension and stuff like towards a drop.
Yeah.
That's why I like house music.
Yeah.
Because it's not all based on, well, technically it is based on a structure, but people aren't expecting, oh my gosh, where's the drop at 32 seconds?
Yeah, it's like, oh, they didn't drop the 55 seconds. This is shitty dubstep, guys. This is shitty dubstep. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You all done?
All right, Lincoln, where can we find your music? Or, sorry, Silantra.
Well, I'm on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Silantra, and I've got a Facebook page at facebook.com/SilantraMusic. And then I also have a Twitter page, but I never use Twitter, so you don't really
So,
have to
you know, fuck that.
yeah, up there.
And everyone, try and find his song, Warp, on YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever, because that song is fucking magic.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks for your time, man.
Cool.
No problem. I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye.
See ya.